Picture this, a dark, stormy night in Boston. It's St. Patrick's Day, 1990. The city is buzzing with celebrations, but inside the elegant walls of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, something is about to go terribly wrong. In just 81 minutes, two men disguised as police officers will pull off the single largest property theft in history, walking away with art worth over $500 million. And for the next 34 years, the world would be left with one giant, baffling question: where did the masterpieces go? This isn't a Hollywood movie plot. This is a true story, a mystery that has stumped the FBI, art historians, and amateur sleuths for decades. The empty frames that still hang on the museum walls are a haunting reminder of what was lost. We're talking about works by titans of the art world: Vermeer, Rembrandt, Manet, Degas. These aren't just paintings. They are irreplaceable pieces of human history, vanished into thin air. So how did they do it? The heist began just after 1 a.m. Two men in police uniforms buzzed the museum's side entrance. They told the night watchman on duty, a 23-year-old named Rickabath, that they were responding to a disturbance call. Against all protocol, Abath let them in. It was a fatal mistake. Once inside, the officers quickly revealed their true intentions. They told Abath, "This is a robbery," and ordered him to call his partner to the security desk. Within minutes, both guards were overpowered, bound with duct tape, and led down to the museum's basement. Their hands, feet, and heads were taped up, and they were handcuffed to pipes, miles away from any of the galleries. The thieves now had the entire museum to themselves. They were completely alone, surrounded by treasures collected over a lifetime by the museum's eccentric founder, Isabella Stewart Gardner. What's fascinating and also incredibly puzzling is what the thieves chose to take and what they left behind. They clearly had a plan, but it was a strange one. They spent a considerable amount of time in the Dutch room. There, they viciously cut two of Rembrandt's most famous paintings from their frames: The Storm on the Sea of Galilee and A Lady and Gentleman in Black. The Storm on the Sea of Galilee is particularly significant. It's Rembrandt's only known seascape. The image of the canvas being brutally sliced is something that still sends shivers down the spine of any art lover. They also took a rare masterpiece by Johannes Vermeer, The Concert. Before the heist, there were only about 34 known Vermeer paintings in the world. Now, there are 33. This painting alone is estimated to be worth over $250 million, making it the most valuable stolen object on the planet. But then their choices get weird. They tried to remove a large Rembrandt self-portrait, but seemed to give up. They also took a small, seemingly insignificant Chinese bronze beaker from the Shang dynasty, and a bronze eagle finial from the top of a Napoleonic flag. Why these specific items? Did they have a shopping list from a specific buyer, or were they just grabbing what caught their eye? They even went to the Blue Room to steal Degas sketches and a Manet portrait. But strangely, they completely ignored the Titian in the same room, one of the most valuable paintings in the entire collection. The thieves were in the museum for a total of 81 minutes. That's an eternity for a heist. They moved with a calm, unhurried pace. After gathering their loot, they made two separate trips to their car, loaded up the priceless art, and simply drove away into the Boston night. When the morning shift arrived, they found the museum eerily silent. It wasn't until they discovered the bound guards in the basement that the full horror of the situation became clear. The biggest art heist in history had just taken place, and no one had a clue who was behind it. The investigation kicked off immediately, and it was massive. The FBI took the lead, and theories began to fly. Was it the IRA? The local Boston mob? A sophisticated team of international art thieves? Every lead seemed promising at first, only to eventually turn into a dead end. One of the most prominent theories points to the Boston underworld, specifically a crew connected to a mobster named Carmelo Merlino. Several low-level criminals associated with Merlino's gang started boasting that they knew where the art was. One of them, a man named Bobby Donati, was rumored to have been one of the thieves. The theory goes that the art was meant to be used as a get-out-of-jail-free card for a friend. But just a year after the heist, Donati was brutally murdered, his body found in the trunk of a car. If he knew where the art was, that secret died with him. Then there was Robert, the cook, Gentile, an aging mafioso from Connecticut. In 2012, the widow of one of Gentile's associates claimed her husband had given Gentile two of the stolen paintings. The FBI searched Gentile's home and found a handwritten list of the stolen artworks, with their estimated black market values. They even found a copy of a newspaper article about the heist from 1990. Gentile fiercely denied any involvement, claiming he was set up. He told the FBI they could dig up his whole property, but they'd find nothing. They did, and he was right. Despite immense pressure and multiple jail sentences on unrelated charges, Gentile went to his grave in 2021 without ever giving up the art, if he even knew where it was. Another compelling figure is a man named Miles Connor Jr., a notorious and highly intelligent art thief who, by his own admission, had cased the Gardner Museum years before the heist. He was a rock and roller by night and a prolific criminal by day. At the time of the 1990 heist, Connor was in prison, but he has always claimed that he was the mastermind, that he orchestrated the whole thing from behind bars. He suggested his associates carried out the robbery and that the art was hidden, ready to be used as leverage for his release. He's dangled information in front of the FBI for years, but has never produced a single piece of art. Is he a genius mastermind playing a long game, or just a brilliant con man loving the attention? The years turned into decades. The statute of limitations for the theft expired in 1995, meaning the thieves can no longer be prosecuted for the crime itself. But holding stolen property is a different story. The Gardner Museum has never given up hope. They are offering a $10 million reward for information leading directly to the recovery of the art in good condition. No questions asked. That's the largest private reward ever offered for stolen property. You could literally walk in with the concert under your arm and walk out a multimillionaire with complete immunity. Yet, nobody has come forward. This fact alone deepens the mystery. If the art was stolen for money, why hasn't it been ransomed or sold? $500 million is a life-changing amount of money, but only if you can cash in. Stolen art of this fame is virtually impossible to sell on the open market. It's too hot, too recognizable. So what was the motive? Was it for a private, obsessed collector, someone like a real-life Bond villain who wants to gaze at the masterpieces in a secret vault? Or did the thieves panic? Is it possible that the art was destroyed or lost shortly after the theft, buried in a concrete foundation or dumped in a river, gone forever? The FBI has stated publicly that they believe the art was moved through mob circles from Boston to Connecticut, and then to the Philadelphia area, where the trail went cold around the early 2000s. They believe both of the original thieves are now deceased. But this is just a belief, a theory. Without the art, there is no proof. The legacy of the Gardner heist is a story of loss, not just for the museum, but for all of us. Isabella Stewart Gardner designed her museum so that nothing would ever be changed. It was a snapshot of her artistic vision, frozen in time. The empty frames that now hang in the Dutch and Blue rooms are a powerful and defiant statement. They are placeholders, symbols of hope that one day, the stolen masterpieces will come home. They serve as a constant, public plea for their return. For now, the greatest art heist in history remains unsolved. It's a puzzle with too many pieces missing, a tale filled with colorful characters, tantalizing clues, and frustrating dead ends. It's a cold case that continues to fascinate and haunt us, a reminder that even the most heavily guarded treasures can vanish in the blink of an eye, leaving behind nothing but empty frames and a story for the ages. What do you think happened to the art? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more unsolved mysteries.